My name is Raqia, and I am 34 years old. We bought a new apartment, which was very cheap despite its large size. However, its only drawback was that it was in a popular area of one of Cairo's neighborhoods. We moved into our new spacious home with my family, and we were happy. On our first night in the house, we heard loud banging as if the house was collapsing around us while we were sleeping. We woke up terrified and looked around in fear and anxiety. There was nothing unusual. Everything was normal. We asked the neighbors around us about the source of the noise, but they were puzzled because they hadn't heard anything unusual or strange. The next day, we heard rushing footsteps and loud banging coming from the apartment above us. The pounding continued for a long time, and that day, my father was very ill and needed to rest. My mother went upstairs to inform the residents, but to her surprise, the apartment was completely empty and locked from the outside. My mother descended the stairs in astonishment. Had the residents left, leaving behind these noises from the apartment? She encountered our neighbor across the hall and asked her about the apartment. The neighbor revealed that the residents had left and locked the apartment more than 5 years ago, after their young son fell from the building's light well and died instantly. They had placed boiled yellow lentils and hammered nails into the ground to prevent the boy's ghost from haunting the building and tormenting the neighbors. He had been a disliked child due to his terrible behavior and love for causing trouble. Everyone used to scold and hit him for his bad actions. The apartment had been empty since that day, and no one entered it after his mother left out of grief, and his father remarried and lived far away. However, despite their efforts to contain the boy's ghost, some people would occasionally spot a black cat where the boy fell. They would leave milk and bread for the cat to avoid being harmed. My mother was advised not to harm the cat if she saw it on the stairs to avoid suffering the same fate as our neighbor on the 5th floor, whose fate remained unspoken by our neighbor. My mother returned feeling uneasy and shared the story with us, warning us not to harm the cat if we ever saw it by chance in front of our apartment or on the stairs. It was as if the cat was waiting for us to hear its tale. I don't know what happened, but I started seeing the cat regularly on the stairs as I went to work at a pharmacy. It would always look at me with anger, even though I had done nothing to it. I can't deny that I didn't believe my mother's words or the old neighbor's stories, but I was genuinely scared of the cat. It didn't seem normal. Its eyes were a glowing blue, its fur black as night, and its teeth sharp and terrifying. Its appearance was truly frightening and evoked anxiety and fear. Every morning, I would see it glaring at me, perhaps because I refused to offer it milk and bread as my mother and siblings did. I couldn't believe such superstitions, especially in the 21st century. If it was a ghost, would it need to eat bread and drink milk? One day, as I left the apartment, the dreadful cat was in front of me. I tried to ignore it, but it remained in place, angrily meowing. I felt frightened because it wouldn't move. Uncertain of how I managed it, I hit it with my bag with all my strength,